Stoked, the podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Stoked, the podcast. We're bringing you the raddest content. We got two epic guests here tonight, like we always do. It's been a bit of a while since we have posted anything, but we are stoked to be here with you. Jacques, nice to see you, my boy.
What's happening,
How's
you
things?
silvery salmon?
Yeah?
Matt, good to see you.
You too, Jeff.
You're looking
nice.
fantastic.
Guys, just to let you know, this will be my, not last podcast, but last one for a long time. I'm moving over into the world, really. I'm jumping on the boats. I'm going to be working on the super yachts for a bit. But, however, I will be posting interviews of interesting people from anywhere around the world on this same channel, on this YouTube channel. So there'll be content coming from overseas, from me. Jacques will be creating content here in the studio here at Backyard Bay, Salt Rock, South Africa. We absolutely love. This is our home. So it's going to be rad, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to keep on bringing you epic content. Like I said, please check out our Patreon account page. Support us, please, if you can. Little bit of bucks goes here and there to our guys in the back. We got Kate in the back there doing sound.
Kairan.
We got Josh on the camera.
Thanks,
And yeah,
Josh.
just so we can keep on getting interesting guests. Hey, Jacques?
Bloody marvelous. It's fucking awesome to be back. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Click, subscribe, share. We got some really dope O's in today. It's going to be a fantastic session. I can't wait to get stuck in. It's skateboarding today. You know how it is. We got Gerrit and Julian in the house from the Ballito Skate Park.
Away, boys.
So lucky to have you here, man.
Away.
Thanks for taking out the time to come and hang out with us here in the studio. Loop Evolution, Backyard Bay. It's fucking sexy, so ne?
Yes, it's nice, yeah. Yo, very professional, yeah.
We have to. Only the best for those that are running the skate park, which we really appreciate from the bottom of my heart as a skateboarder. Just thank you for creating the scene and making sure the scene happens in Ballito. It's super, super important, but we're going to get more into that. Welcome,
Yes.
Oz. It's fucking rad to have you, Oz, here.
So good.
Thank you very much. Good to see you here.
No, lekker. We've already been having a beer backstage with the O's, and just super pumped to have them. But let's get into it. Let's
dive in.
talk fucking skateboarding.
Let's kickflip in, boys and girls.
I'm going to share a little bit about how I started skateboarding, and let's do the same for everyone. So I was doing a lot of sport at the time. I was probably doing about 3 different sports provincially. Sports all about time. You got to have a coach. You got to have the gear. You got to have the right gear on. Then there's obviously practice time that starts, practice time that ends, uniform, all that kind of thing.
Sure.
There's team sports and that kind of thing. Let the O's down. You don't want to do that. You have a bad day. You let your team down kind of thing. Coaches telling you what to do, what you can't do. You get caught smoking. You get taken out of the team, or someone hears that you're doping. You get chucked out of a team, and I wanted to become a professional sportsman. So my mate goes to the States, and he comes back with a 2-kick board. Now, I mean, when I was a lighty, we had a little 1-kick board there with the rails on the sides. And obviously you bomb a hill or two with that thing, but it never took off from there. But,
Is this when you had more hair on your head than your face?
Yeah, definitely a lot more hair on my head. And
Dogtown style.
This was about standard 6, and my mate went to the States and he came back with a 2-kick board. I think it was a Think, and I was hooked. I started using my cross trainers at that time. I had a pair of Adidas cross trainers. Fuck those things up in December, trying to ollie and kickflip with cross trainers, and that's kind of like where my skateboarding journey started. Subsequently, I dropped every single sport. All of them. I couldn't play cricket anymore. I didn't want to run, and I didn't want to play squash anymore. I didn't have to have a uniform to skate. The time didn't start. It didn't end. The people that I met were from all different backgrounds. It didn't matter what shoes you had. It didn't matter what board you had. It didn't matter what side of town you lived. And now because of the sport, there was that heavy fight against the schools. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but we were the only English high school in the town that I'm from. So all these Afrikaans schools, it was heavy competition. Fuck, you walk past each other. Everyone just wants to hoy each other. And all of a sudden, skateboarding, obviously the rollerbladers, we met those and we met the trick bikers as well. and we were probably about a crew of about 35 O's that from probably about halfway through standard 6 right to matric, I saw those lads every single day of my life, whether we were sleeping in a park because we were skating too long, and we knew that there's no fucking ways we could go to anyone's house right now. So that's kind of
your background.
My background with skateboarding, and
epic.
it changed everything that I am. The
and I'm
music
sure,
that I listen to,
like you said, it connected you with people that you never thought you would ever hang out with, you know?
100%. And just being exposed to people that you not necessarily going to hang out with. I think that's the thing that I love about skateboarding the most. And what's it like for you guys as skateboarders? And also speak to us a little bit about the vibe. When you go out skateboarding, your mates know that you're trying a trick. When you land that trick, I don't know, give us a little bit of snackages from your side.
It's a little bit crazy. When we trying to land something, we could try land that thing, 5-6 days.
Oh yeah, you can
could
go
be
like close to a
months.
month. Yeah.
So yeah, depending on obviously the difficulty. But I mean, like when we actually do get it, everybody knows. Like, okay, we know your limits or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
So everybody knows. Like when you land that trick, you've been working how long for it. When you land it, I don't know. Sometimes O's get more stoked for you than you stoked, you know.
Definitely.
So it's like every time we skate with homies. I mean, we skated with homies. What was it, Sunday?
Yeah, with Mikey and Rowan, shout out boys.
Yeah.
No, you guys better be fucking watching.
Even then, like every session we skate with them is like a progression session. So it's like it's just a vibe. Yeah, we get super hyped on like tricks that they've been trying for ages. The best part is even going to a park that you never skated before, you know, and then everything is like wow. You know, like does a kickflip, like I go kickflips pretty down, but everybody like you do a kickflip there. I was like, oh my God, he kickflipped, you know?
Who's this new punk on the track?
Yeah, dude. Like I kickflip everything here at our park, but then when we went to Durban to skate with Mikey them, I just kickflipped off a ledge, which was pretty much the same height, same everything. As soon as I landed, I was like, boys!
Like,
losing their minds.
So I'm like, bro. But it's super, super hyped. And I think it's super important for the skate community to get that.
Yeah.
Because like that's one thing that other sports don't really have.
Sure.
It's like a lot of time it's like any soccer, for example, you know, everybody's trying to get that goal. Everybody's trying to score, you know. Everybody's like, even though you're in a team, it's kind of like, well, you're still my competition in a way, you know.
Yeah.
Where skateboarding is like, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, like you said, what you're riding.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. If you do something dope, bro, everybody's stoked and everybody's happy, you know.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you almost feel like a youngster again. I mean, you can be doing skating. It's all about Jacques' age, and then you're done. I'm joking. Jacques still shredding out there. But it's just like surfing, you know. I relate to a lot to surfing. Listen, I stopped skating a long time ago because the ground became a bit too hard for me. I'm a bit of a wuss. And so that's why I started surfing. But it's that, I think we had Chris Coates on who said that ultimate grandeur of Stoke.
Yeah.
You know, that you bringing you back to that feeling of being a kid again, you know, and accomplishing something that you try over and over and over again. You know, that people don't really see how many blood, sweat, and tears you put into just one trick, especially if it's a difficult one, you know. Oaks get out there, they see this massive gap that's been, you know, jumped over or ollied over, and then they come onto a hard section and then they dodge a car. They see that, but they don't see the hundreds of times that the Oak has tried doing it and broken how many bones and gone back to the same spot to try and get it waxed. Yeah, no, it's quite, guys, we've got to have respect for these skaters. That's for sure. I mean, mad respect for them. Like, the amount of times, like, fuck rugby players compared to skaters. I don't know what saw is until you fall off a 12-foot bloody, you know, concrete gap, and like break your arm. And, like, the grass is softer, I'll tell you that.
Concrete doesn't hug. Concrete neither does fucking tar. And neither do paving bricks.
Nah.
Neither do paving bricks.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, where did you grow up skating, Julian?
So I grew up in Ballito since I moved here from Joburg when I was about 4 years old with my family. And
Great move.
Yeah, brilliant. I love this. Yeah. I wouldn't move anywhere else, honestly. I've been all over the place. Always
Cheers
come
to
back to
that.
Ballito. It's
Cheers
home,
to
eh?
that.
But yeah, so there were no, we had the bowl, but it was pretty run down.
Yo,
the old
dude,
one.
That thing was fucking crazy.
It was a
People-
pond more than anything at
but
one
also
stage.
the vert sections on that thing, it actually went backwards.
Yeah,
there-
oververt,
There's some blunt footage with some of the O's that were doing like plants and stuff on that heavy high section. Like that, guys. This bowl was fucking nuts. You had to be crazy to skate this fucking thing. You had to be nuts.
Yeah.
And that's been revamped. So you guys been part of that, and yeah. I mean, how's that been for you guys, man?
It's been a blessing, man. It's been such a blessing. What do you rate, G?
Yeah, it's changed everything. So in a way of like you just mentioned that the ball was so messed up.
Yeah.
And, like
yeah.
for me to come back, this is why I say it's changed everything. Because for me to come back, it was literally an idea of, oh, so the ball's been revamped.
Yes.
So why not skate again?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of latis at that stage also had the same mindset of not coming back, but bro, there's a skate park now. Like
Now, at
we
least
can
there's something to
we
skate.
can skate, you
Yeah.
know, because everywhere else it's like it's
They
a
close
crime.
this off,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a problem. You can't skate.
Yeah.
So like it coming back was more reason to create like a community like around it
Yeah.
and to like look after the kids that are there, because the more kids that go there, the more whatever, then people are going to look after it, man. People care.
100%.
People care. If they see something that's just been left like it was, left behind. I mean, like I went through that stage of skating when it just started deteriorating
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nobody wanted to skate it anymore,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
nobody cared.
Sure.
So like I didn't really want to see that happen again, you know. So skating there all the time, it helps. It makes people realize that actually there's a need for it, you know.
Yeah. And so you say that's quite important for you to be there, especially with the upcoming youngsters. You know, you're giving them something that can be theirs in a way. They can go out when they're having a cuck day. They can go to the skate park, see oaks like yous and you guys, and you guys are ultimately role models for them.
Fucking awesome. O's,
So,
these
bro,
O's, man.
that's what we live for, and that's why we've created this podcast, is to have epic guests like this, guys, doing good work. So, yeah, I mean, it must be quite a fulfilling thing when you teach a lighty and he lands a difficult trick, or even just a simple one, such as an ollie. What's your best experience that you've had so far teaching the lighties? What have they taught you, in other words?
So I've got a baby, my little girl, 4 years old. And that has changed my like views on kids, but mostly actually changed my views on women. So like the reason why I say this is that there was these two girls that used to come to the skate park all the time, skating. And like, you know, skateboarding's not really like, still it's been more accepted, but it's still not really a woman's sport yet. You know what I mean? Like, so that like always hit me, like, you know, even this whole thing of women don't get paid the same as men in certain sports,
Fucking
you know.
bullshit,
Yeah. So that hit me hard, and then when I saw these girls, I was just like, hey, bro, like whatever. Maybe I came like quite a creep, I guess, now that I think about it, because
Nah,
I'm
you
like,
wouldn't
I'm
be
like,
dad,
I remember.
bro.
I
There's
remember.
nothing creepy about you.
Yeah.
You're just being a dad figure and a bigger brother.
yeah,
figure to these,
but
to
then
these
like
arties. That's
even with
fucking dope,
those
dude.
even with those girls, like I started teaching them like whatever I can teach them, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ollies or whatever, and just the suck they got, like, because for me it wasn't like I wasn't getting hyped really, because I was just teaching, you know.
Yeah.
But they were getting so hyped with each other for things that I've already taught them, you know. And I was just like, bro, this is it. Like, this is cool, you know. And what they did was they ended up getting a whole bunch of girls to carry on to start skating,
Yeah.
like from like because they surfed. But then when the surf sucks, like, what do you do? And then they all started coming to the skate park. So like something small, like them getting hyped of something that I taught them, now all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of girls skating.
Yeah,
It's a vibe, bro. It's like that's the main thing about it, you know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing that I can say about skate parks, and there were no skate parks where I grew up in Polokwane, Petersburg, up in the Limpopo province. But one thing that obviously the kids knew where we skated. So if you wanted to get into skateboarding, and they obviously the lighties knew where to come and hang out. You could be shy. You could wonder about your space in this world. You could be told from a fucking principal or a teacher the whole time that you're nothing, and you just don't understand why you don't fit in at the school level or whatever the case may be. If you maybe weren't so good at the books, or you did dig some of the books and whatever, but for whatever reason, you could pitch up to an environment where there were skateboarders and no one gave a shit what your background was, what your struggles were for that day. You could just come into that space and find yourself and be yourself. And, you know, like I never heard anything about like your style sucks. It was just like you guys said, the Stoked for when you land the trick, and the music influences that happen around that. And all of a sudden you've got people that like you consider your family, because these people are people that you can be yourself with all the time. And I want to congratulate you guys and just thank you guys again for the team that you guys create, because it's tough to do this kind of shit on your own. So respect for that, and thank you, and look out for what they're doing. There is nowhere to fucking skate in Ballito. There just is nowhere. We're seen as a bunch of mukhus or a bunch of those that won't fit in. There are people that make so much fucking money off of skateboarding. And if we just got our act together, we can't be the best cricket team and the best rugby team and not think that we can't create the best skateboarders. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. So we need more exposure. We need more love from the community. You're going to get home. If there's a lighty bombing the hill, he's probably been working up the guts for the last 5 fucking years to try and bomb that hill, and now you want to try and get past him with your luxury sedan. So let's have a little bit more patience for those. But I want to thank you guys for creating that environment, because I know that there are kids that go to the skate park that are not accepted on the sports field, or accepted in the classroom, or the teacher thinks something about them, where you guys are just coming in from like, bro, we're so pumped that you're here. This is this is this. This is who we are. Like,
we don't prejudge you. We welcome you with open arms. Like, welcome, let's skate. You know, and that's the way it should be. So,
and at the end of the day, that's why you guys are there.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You guys are at the skate park because it's such a it becomes a part of your personality. Skateboarding becomes a part of your personality. You can be driving anywhere through any town in this country, see a skateboarder, and you've instantly got a mate. I promise you've instantly got a mate. Young, old, what a great way for different ages to hang out
100%.
via the skateboard.
Yeah, exactly.
So are there any events coming up that we should look out for at the Ballito Skate Park?
Definitely. Do you want to speak more about it, G?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so earlier in the year, G and I had the idea to do a community fun day at the bowl. And it was kind of like a nothing attempt. We got sponsors, including Slappy, numerous other sponsors, to give some prizes out. And we just wanted to see if people would be receptive to the idea. And it was so well received by the community.
It was an incredible event, bro.
Shot, man. I really appreciate it.
Incredible.
So then we kind of stepped back, looked at it, and thought, we'll do it again, because we had a lot of people asking, hey, when's the next one? So we're like, oh, flip, this is gaining so much traction. We've got to do another one soon.
It was meant to be a once-off situation.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it now. But so G and I went back to the drawing board and we're like, okay, what can we take away from it that we got to keep that worked well, and what can we add to it to make it better and bigger for more people to enjoy?
Absolutely.
And the good thing is that 19th of November will be version 2.0 of the Fun Day at the Bowl. Got new sponsors, including your company, Jacques. So thank you very much. Shout out Gunwax.
Gunwax.
There you go.
Jacques' wife jumping in the background.
It's a small thing, dude.
And we got a lot lined up for the day. We got a lot of people coming, new companies, new sponsors, awesome dudes from all over. We got guys from Richards Bay coming, Maritzburg, Durban, all over coming through for the day. And we're going to have 2 live bands perform in the afternoon as well. So even if you're not into skating, stick around for essentially an after party with the live bands playing. It'll be a vibe.
Oh yeah.
So I think
it's about community.
That's also the genius about it, is actually like, even if you don't skate, you should still pull in.
Of Of course.
So our main idea around the whole thing was actually of you bring more people to the park. We said it before. You bring more people to the park, people care, you know? And that was our idea actually, is if we bring people to the park, say your kid's skating, okay? He's not very good, but he skates. Now it has the opportunity to bring the whole family. You can bring a picnic basket, whatever.
Absolutely, man.
We want more people than just skaters, you know? We want, we want people on the grass chilling, vibe, you know, it's good. It's
And we changed the whole concept of the actual skating for the day in terms of you can come and you can skate freely the whole day. We're not going to charge O's. The big thing is with like all these big events, like even the Monster Jam that happened over the Pro, you really only have like top 3 people like come out with something, and the rest feel like, well, fuck, I got to try better next time, you know?
Yeah.
And G and I were always like, man, that's such a bummer. We want everyone to come through. Doesn't matter if you skate, if you don't, to go home feeling that was a lacquer day.
Yeah.
So our whole concept was we will allocate prizes to people for pushing themselves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you've never skated before and you do an ollie for the first time, you could win a board.
It's the Stoked, you know, the Stoked vibes.
Right.
So like, you are not good. Like we had a Lati, shame, how old is he? He's like 5.
Yeah, 5,
6, dude. He was so small, like the board was the size of him. And he dropped into the bowl and he just rode around. Like that's all he did. He didn't do any tricks or whatever. But we just saw how high he was going and that he was
dropping into that.
bro. And we saw how high he was going and he was just trying so hard. So we were like, bro, give him a board. Like, so it doesn't, like you are literally your own competition. Like, you know, if you do something that you don't normally do or do something bigger that you already do, but now it's massive. Bro, we'll give you something like 100%. Like this. So our plan was more actually that everybody that enters wins, not just top 3. You know what I mean? It's the vibe.
I hope there's some O's that are running some comps and stuff that are taking a page out of this, and I think that's just too incredible. The vibe that it creates, again, the community that creates, the Stoke, like. I saw you do this kickflip last year. I see you doing the hard flip grab this year.
Exactly.
You know, it's just, I mean, that makes me super proud to be part of this greater thing that we call skateboarding. And how dope is it to be part of something that's so much bigger than yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's influenced the way that we dress.
Yeah.
It's influenced the way that we speak. It's influenced the way that we see the world. I'm just fucking proud. That day sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Get there, people. It's going to be so great. What are the social media vibes that we can catch yours on?
So for me, it's Julian Moraitis, JULIAN MORAITIS, all lowercase, one word.
We'll hit that in the description as well for you guys.
And then
and the Ballito ball.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask for your Insta first, bro, and then I was gonna shout out Ballito Skate Park, bro.
So it's Gerrit van Zyl, but my name is messed up. So it's GERRITVANZY.
That's right.
Yeah,
And then the Ballito Skate Park.
The most important one is literally Ballito Skate Park, lowercase, one word. You'll find it there. We post. Doesn't matter who you are. Like we had, funnily enough, the owner of Slappy Skateboards. He came down for a weekend and he just literally did a Slappy nose slide. We featured him on the page. So
Pretoria-based company.
Yes,
Pretoria-based company.
South African-based.
Shout
support
out to the
local.
skaters in fucking Pretoria. Thrashers. I miss Thrashers so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. 100%.
What a park.
Yeah.
What a park.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I believe this is yours, Jacques.
Dude, Zach gave me these fucking
I was like,
good at these ones.
hey,
I just like to thank all my friends at the Ballito Skate Park. Slappy. Just proudly South African decks. Go get them, people.
Oh, yeah.
Follow them on
And this
all their
one's got
socials and
a
shit.
young load shedding graph on.
Dude,
So
the shape,
we love
bro.
the
The
graph.
shape, though.
Look at the
Yeah.
shape.
The shape, nice 8.5. I'm not a big flip skateboarder, so I'm not big into flip tricks or anything, although you gotta love a good kick flip. I'm not like fucking Gerrit who can 360 flip off stuff and whatever. But the reason why I do the 8.5, just I like big grabs, nice big ollies. I just feel like my foot sits a lot better in this board. It's not so heavy on the concave either. So it allows me that little bit of, I get away with a little bit more on the ollie and also on the grab. So, and also I love my grind tricks. So again, just the stability. If you were into flip tricks, I think you'd probably go a bit thinner, maybe a bit of a rounder nose, maybe a bit of a rounder tail. These 8.5s are kiff because it's a little bit pointy on the tail, which I enjoy. A little bit round on the nose. Yeah, just because I love a fucking nose slide. And also, crooked grind, I feel that it just gives me a little bit more control on my fat foot.
You can crook, bro.
Yeah.
You can play grind, bro. Show me up, bro. Wow.
There might be something on the Insta if you go sneak around.
Really?
But that's what I was going to say. We had that little park there in Mshlali there by the butchery.
Yeah.
So we set that up and that was great. We had a little quarter pipe because the concrete in there was so smooth because obviously it used to be a butchery. So the floors needed to be cleaned. So the smoothest concrete of your life. I don't know if anybody ever remembers that. I don't know even what's happening there. But it used to be a butchery in Mshlali. Drove around the back and we cleared out these two sections. So we had a high to low, built a kicker so you can jump out of that.
Actually, when I used
We
to
had the
drive past.
quarter pipe up against the one wall. We had a nice big box and a rail on either side. And I mean, we had some great times. Terry, shout out to the O's. I mean, Dion Miller from Miller Construction. He helped us transport those things and build them.
Oh, what a
Shout
legend.
out to the O as well. And then unfortunately, the O's that are living on the street needed some firewood. So I'll fucking rush.
Oh, shit. That's bleak.
Just if you do want to build a skate park like that ever, make sure you have a stash of firewood so that the O's don't have to cut your fucking ramps
Be
up and shit.
sustainable, guys. And
Or
on the
gates.
topic of sustainability, if you go to their website, back by 30 South sunglasses, if you go to their website, you get 15% off if you use the code
Such a
Stoked.
dope discount, O's.
They are 100%.
Even they make matte sexy.
100%.
Fucking hell, they got to be gold.
They use recycled plastic. 100%.
Ocean plastic. O's.
Guys,
Fuck
ocean.
that
Those are
stuff.
looking after the ocean. Check those out.
Fuck plastic.
So go check them out. You get a discount. Use the coupon code Stoked at your checkout. Guys, they're super rad. They're all customizable, polarized.
And they do have a store there at Salt Rock, there by the Sage Center. So if you do want to drop in and go check some of the stuff out, but obviously online will save you some fuel and stuff. O's.
It's amazing.
I've just been pumped chatting on this, bro. I'm super pumped. 19th of November, get down to the park, O's. It's going to be gnarly.
That's it.
and
One
let's-
question though, before they
Hit it.
go, I'd love to know what is your all-time favorite skater ever?
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
It's tough to say, but I've got one. I've got one.
I also got one. I don't know.
Shoot, Julian, go.
Gabriel Summers. That guy's, he's not the most talented, but he works so fucking hard for every trick. Like, if you see his clips on Thrasher, My War, just the respect for him to get, like, even...
Badass.
Yeah, it's like
He's
the
a
commitment
fucking
and everything.
beast.
Just the... I respect that so much. Yeah.
Gerrit.
Nah, I'm old school, bro. Jamie Thomas.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah.
The front side
my boy.
flip king. I'm gonna hit Kerry Gates from Canada, bro.
That's
That girl video
Yeah.
blew my fucking mind. So, bro, we come to the end of the show. Matthew, we're gonna miss you, bro.
Cheers. Well, I'm gonna
We're
miss
gonna
you
miss
guys
you,
too.
but he's gonna send us shit. So carry on checking us out. Gerrit, Julian, thank you so much for popping around. We
Thank you
love
for
you
having
guys.
us.
Subscribe and like and all that stuff.
Comments.
Keep skateboarding, keep surfing, keep asking questions, keep loving yourself
That's it.
and loving everyone around you. Fuck, we're out of here. Bye.
Cheers, cheers.
I'm feeling kind of like stoked